From days of long ago, created by the cosmic legends of the universe. There stands one man, one great man. A man dedicated to preserving all that is good in pop culture. Loved by few, hated by many. Alone in his fortress of awesomeness, he battles fearlessly against the wolf, the evil, the unjust. To right that which is wrong, to stand for justice, to serve all mankind. He is the one, the only, the comic relief crusader. Hello, everybody out in the YouTube geekosphere. Well, I will admit, yeah, damn, I'm cold. Up here in the frozen white north, in the land that is Canada. Minus 30 here tonight. Dang. For all you Americans, that's minus 22 Fahrenheit, I do believe. So, yeah, welcome to the show on a comeback. You know what? I should have renamed this the Titillating Tuesdays. Well, let's give it a shot or two episode. Thanks for having me back. It's been a long 6 months. Welcome, Snaggle Fricklepuss. Nice to see you here again. Howdy. Thank you for the congratulations. And Gap After Dark. Thank you. It's glad to be back. And Super Goji Reviews. It is epic, is it not? And Raziel, thank you. I'm sorry you were about to go to bed, and yes, I have that effect on people, seeing this pop up and disturbing your sleep. Anything I can do to cause you a sleepless night. So, yeah, wow, 6 months. That I have been off of YouTube and essentially lurking around some of the other channels, like say on Doomcock and what else, and Clobberin Times, and occasionally on a few other channels here and there. You remember me from my old server, but that got hacked. I do if I know your actual name, but I'm not going to ask for it here. If you remember me, then more than likely I remember you. So, and that's all that needs to be said, my friends. So, yeah, back after 6 months. It's been wacky. It's been surreal. It's been quite the headache, and it has not been a fun 6 months. I will tell you that much. Excuse me for the cough. Getting over a little bit of a flu that I've had hanging around for a week and whatnot, and it just seems like, somewhat of a cough won't go away. Yeah, for any of you guys that were here last time or the last show, oh my God, when was it? Back in July? yeah, 2022 has been a really bad year. And super showy. Yes, I did work for X Transbots. I kind of still do. Um, I yeah, that's that's a story all in itself. So, still kind of with Keith, although not really doing that much with him. Let's put it that way. Although I do have another figure that's coming out featuring my box art. So just to let you know, look out for it. It's another Quintesson. It should be released this December. And if you want to buy the box art, then I'll even sell it as posters too. So anyway, for any of you guys that do know, yeah, back in July, my family and I were getting kicked out rather surprisingly after we were, in the place that we were renting for 8 years. And all of a sudden, at the end of July, no, sorry, at the end of June, the landlord was like, "Oh, hey, you want to renew the lease for another year?" It's like, I ain't going nowhere, not a problem. And then 8 days into July, all of a sudden he's like, "You know what? I decided to sell the place. I want you out at the end of the month." And yeah, that threw a big wrench um, into a lot of things because I just found a new job, even though it doesn't pay a lot of money. But you know what? As much as I bitch and complain about that place, um, still got to be grateful for having something at least. So, so there's that, and having to juggle that. Plus, on top of that, finding another place. We did end up moving in with our son in his basement apartment. So try to imagine that you've been living in a duplex. It's not huge, but it's not small. Let's put it that way. And you got 8 years worth of stuff. And yeah, it is brutal. So with only 3 weeks notice, basically. Yeah, it is sad. But yeah, it could be worse, right? Hey, we could have been out on the street, with a a little girl, basically. But no, we moved into our son's place. So imagine 8 years worth of stuff having to fit into a basement apartment. It's cramped. Let's put it that way. So working 5 days a week on a rotating shift. 2 weeks I'd be working a graveyard shift from say midnight to 8. Then another 2 weeks I'd be working from 4 to midnight, and then another 2 weeks after that, 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, and rotating like that every 2 weeks, right? So, yeah, he's a good son, so I'll give him that. I just wish he would stop gaming so much because, well, I'm a dad and I'm concerned for him. So, but yes, he's a good kid. He's a good boy. Where was I going with this? Yeah. So anyway, on a rotating shift, and it really messes up things for you when you're kind of trying to keep a YouTube channel going, but you're rotating all the time. And after a while, you're tired and you're achy, and it's not easy. It isn't really easy. The plus side to it, though, is when I started this job back at the end of June, I believe it was the 28th I started. Let's put it to you guys this way, okay? During the whole pandemic thing, that was going on for 2 years and hardly working during that, I gained a lot of pounds. 320 pounds I was up to. Right now, with this job working in this factory, um, I lost about 60 pounds. I'm down to 265 right now. So, you know what? I feel good. I feel great. My back doesn't hurt as much anymore. I really don't get any pains in my Achilles tendon. Each of them. So, you know what? Losing 60 pounds, that's pretty damn good. Yeah. You know, it is a good loss, isn't it? You know, and Super Goji, I lived in an apartment for 2 years and then finally moving into a house that took 16 months to get the papers. Wow. Dang, dude. That's a long time. But no, I feel good. I feel good. I feel lighter. Um I feel like I can move a bit faster when I walk. I'm not out of breath. Um but the big thing is my lower back doesn't hurt much anymore. It really doesn't. Occasionally get the twinge in my right hip, but I'm I'm going to leave that to age, being 50. So yeah, thanks, Gap. Yeah, it's 60 pounds. It's awesome. It is good because I can finally like you squeeze your stomach and it feels like, what? There's not much left. You know, there's a bit to go. And you know what? I think if I just give it another 6 months, although I really don't want to work at this place much, because believe me, the work conditions there are, oh, that's another story in itself. But maybe I'll lose the next 60 pounds and then I'll have beach bod ready for summer. So that wouldn't be too bad. So and yeah, and Roselle, yeah, if you want to watch it tomorrow, that's cool. Get some sleep, dude. Thank you for dropping by. I really, really appreciate it. You have yourself a good night. Um, and what was it? Yeah, my mom and dad were so stressed about it, but we got it. That's awesome, dude. Um, yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, the landlord let us in. He said, "Oh yeah, you can move in with your son. Not a problem. If you really need a place, if you can't find a place, it's like that's cool." The kicker was, he said the place was 600 a month, which is not bad. Um, that's how much my son said he was paying, and that's great. It's like, okay, we can split it like half, 300 a month. That's not bad. But no, he said, no, for each of you, it's 600. So it's like, whoa, you didn't tell me that before we moved in. So he's a bit odd, and probably a little bit odder now because he had brain surgery about a couple of months ago. And I think he's losing some of his memory or something like that. It's really odd. But you know what? Still, though, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. And if you know what that reference means. And just gonna be grateful that as cramped as it is, that we are not out in the cold, and especially now here that it's like -30, right? Um, Thoughts on HasLab Star Saber? You know what? I'm not gonna lie, that looks like an awesome figure. Um, especially where it has Victory Leo along with it, and now Death Saurus is out or coming out. I don't get the Legends line because I stick to Masterpiece scale. But dang, that looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm almost, kind of jealous that I didn't get it. Um, Because you know what? Because of this whole move and trying to set aside some money, I had to sell some of my MP collection, and I sold my Star Saber and my Victory Leo, my KFC Victory Leo, and yeah, I'm sorry you missed out on it, dude. Um, but I think I'm going to slim down on my collection as well. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna sell some of my stuff. I'm probably gonna sell my MP scale Lio Kaiser and some of my Master Force series stuff. I still got Ghost Shooter that I'm planning on selling. I already sold Minerva and Cab, and I'm planning on selling that Fans Hobby Overlord. So I might keep it to season 4, which technically is Headmasters, but I think I might stick with North American season 4, and slim it down a bit. So, my dream figure is X Transbot's Megatron. Forgot the name. Apollyon. That's what it is. And MP52 Starscream. I do have MP52 Starscream. Get it? It's nice. It's really nice. And Gap, I'm slimming down also. The prices are crazy and the shipping is out of control. I know, dude. Isn't it, though? Crap. I do know this one guy on Facebook, friend of mine. He goes by Lionel Hutz. I know what you're probably thinking. The character from The Simpsons. It's like, yeah, but he can usually get you some pretty good prices and cut down on the shipping as well if you're looking for stuff. So, what else? So, as some of you might know, yeah, I did put a good GoFundMe up. It's taken down now. And raised $2,500. Because there was this program in Calgary that would allow us to get into our own home. And then, of course, the interest rates started rising like crazy. Insanely, phenomenally crazy. And so that's delayed that even more because, the payments on a mortgage would be, essentially over double what you would have had to pay had we found it sooner or something like that. So say if your mortgage was like $900 a month or something like that, right now it's probably like over $1,800. It's stupid. It's retarded. So we did a plan B, the wife and I, here in town. I'm a big Godzilla collector. I love Godzilla. Collect the monster arts and some of the mainline Transformers figures too. Yeah, I don't blame you. I love me some Godzilla. King of the monsters, right? So what ended up happening is here in the town where I live, there was a store that moved out around June. And it's been empty for months and months and months. And one day the wife kind of noticed it. And it's like, wouldn't it be cool if that place was actually affordable to, rent and we can open up our own store? And it's like, yeah, that would be pretty cool, And so she did some digging and the guy that owns this building, 75 years old, there's an apartment upstairs. It really needs to be fixed up really badly. And he told us, this place is for rent and it's $1,000 a month. So the wife and I are, essentially splitting it 50-50. So essentially, I'm paying $500 for a storefront where I've opened up, my graphic design and, the other half is my wife's photography studio. And, it's a big gamble. The money that was raised, we put towards it because, we can't get a house because of the interest rates are so astronomically high. And already there has been quite a few opportunities that have come in through the door already. It's nuts. And I'm going to say it, thank you, Jesus, that people have been coming in and needing my services. And I'm going to be honest, I thought they would be, knocking at the door for my wife coming in. Photography, we built a stage area, and she's got it really nicely set up, and a changing room and all that jazz in the back, and it was probably a good month of work to really move some stuff around and stuff like that. And yeah, we kind of figured, if we're really gonna put a really good down payment on a house instead of maybe through a program, um, you know, because we ended up finding out that you got to pay condo fees and you got to do this and you got to do that. And Richard, nice to see you, dude. Glad you could drop in. Peace and respect. Peace and respect to you too, dude. But so far, I've been doing a bunch of video transfers. I got one guy that came in a couple of weeks ago that owns a company. You might remember this. If you're in Canada, then you might remember this product, Orange TKO. It's like a cleaning product. It was like big in Canada, but due to some sort of issue with a cap a few years back, they've kind of settled down quite a bit, right? And so they want to make a resurgence. So they want me to rebuild the website pretty soon and rebranding and doing the product labels and stuff like that. So there's that. Plus I got another opportunity from another guy in town here. For some odd reason here in Alberta, there's a few towns that do this. It's their own town monopoly game. And so he wants one for this town that I live in. And so he wants me to source out a place where they can do board games, and he wants me to design it. And then I have several other businesses that want my services as well. And so, things are coming through the door. Things are looking up. And, so hopefully this gamble really pays off and that my services are greatly required. And same with my wife too. She's already getting, people coming in and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been it's been a roller coaster ride of emotions. And since this has happened since July, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I have been, shocked and saddened and depressed. And God, even I won't lie, crying, because it's like you put so much effort into working so hard for many years, and this is how you get treated. And, and then really self-doubting yourself where you stand in this whole cosmos, and praying to God that there's a solution around the door, or there's a home that's going to open up where we're not so cramped. And, a lot of things that have been going on. And then, watching some of my fellow YouTubers out there that are getting subs. And you know what? And, congratulations on them. Really, honestly, honest to God, like people like Anti-Derivative Jill and Raymond Feliciano, King Dolphin there on King Dolphin TV. And God, I mean, even Doomcock got exploded to like 300,000 followers. Like, dang. Like, holy jumpins. I mean, it's nuts. Me, Yahwehist, Christ follower, eschatological naturalist, old earth creationist, correspondence theorist, novice. Excuse me, here I am coughing up a storm now again. Yep, me too, dude. And Supergo J, I was like that. I was at like 20, yeah. And then I got 88 subs. Right on, dude. Awesome. But you know what I mean? It's like since around this time last year, on Christmas Eve, I got laid off. And then it was like, you're on unemployment insurance, for quite a few months, and that runs out. And then, you fall into a bit of a depression. But, thanks to a few people, they saved our butts with rent, to cover rent, and then finding a job, and then you get kicked out, and then you're struggling to find a place. You find a place, and then, the work really doesn't pay much. And I'm not joking, it really doesn't pay much. But again, I'm not going to complain. And part of you wants the new year, or at least the end of the year, to really end on a good note. And so far, I mean, with this storefront, it looks like it is. And it's a lot of prayer that went out. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of prayer between me and my wife. And you know what? And I'm going to apologize to my wife later on today, because we got into a little bit of a tiff, and me being a little bullheaded, and then I took up smoking again, because of the stress of it all. And I really shouldn't have. And I tried to hide it from my wife, and I really shouldn't be smoking. Bad for you. Do not smoke. And today I bought a pack of smokes, and so she caught me, and not cool. So I owe her an apology. Bad Mike. So anyway, yeah. And then, so opening up this business, and then on top of that, because I need internet, for the past month, I've been having to leech off the guest internet from the business next door. And so my connection has been really crappy. And trying to fill out orders, with a really crappy internet connection, although I was grateful for it. And then finally, today, after a month, TELUS came by and finally hooked up internet. So I now have high-speed internet. And on top of that, dang it, I'm going to get online and I'm going to celebrate. Yeah, quitting smoking is hard, but it's always possible. You're right, dude. And got to think about my future. I'm going to be alive. So, but I wanted to get back online, and I wanted to do it before Christmas, and get back into the swing of things. And, after being in a bad headspace and not really showing it to a lot of people or saying much of anything, because part of you feels like, you're the man, you're the husband, you're the parents, you're the father. You gotta keep on top of these things. And if you don't, then, it's always been in the back of my head, being looked at as a failure because this, and this happened. And, which were totally out of my control. And, it sends you into a bad place. Because also on top of that, had we still had our old place, if you recall a video that I did months ago, I wanted to really hardcore get back into drawing seriously and re-release a comic label that I did 30 years ago with a bunch of guys where I used to live back in the 90s, around the mid 90s or early 90s to mid 90s, and produce, a comic series again. And, when we got essentially kicked out, you feel like that dream is thrown away again or delayed at most, because I wanted to have something to produce, by April. And April is, yeah, it's still like, 4 months away essentially. Um, but you constantly feel these delays, and um, it sometimes you get tired and you don't want to keep fighting all the time. And Richard says, success, the eventuality that occurs when one does not give up for all the no answers that grew them. Yep, that is true, dude. It's very true. So you got to keep on trying. You got to keep on trying to fight that good fight and not give up on life, because you never know what is right around that corner. It could literally be, one of the biggest opportunities that comes your way. And if you don't keep pushing, then you just very well might miss it. And you will, more than likely. So it can make you a stronger person. It really can steel your metal, so to speak, temper your steel. I think that's the right phrase. And doing this and trying to stay connected to the whole YouTube community. I'll tell you this. Okay. I guess in the Transformer community on Facebook, not trying to brag, but I guess I'm pretty well known. A lot of people know my name, and only because of scale posters that I've done, or the box art that I've done for X Trans bots, and some of the other multiple groups that I run, blah blah blah, right? And that's okay. That's cool. And you make a lot of friends that way, and a lot of people that do become good friends. That really do check up on you every once in a while and say, hey man, how's it going? You doing all right? And believe me, I am very appreciative of it. Every person that is, checked in every once in a while, and hey, haven't heard from you in a while. Is everything okay, man? And that's good. The lovely Sherry has dropped by. Hey there. Wow. Thanks, Sherry, for dropping by. I have missed you. Thank you for dropping in. Yeah, nice to see you. That's awesome. So anyway, what I was saying, you make a lot of friends on Facebook, and on the YouTube spectrum, connecting with guys on channels and stuff like that. And having a channel yourself, you make other kind of friends. I don't want to say different friends, because that kind of, I don't want to say sounds classist, but it sounds like, you're kind of putting friends in different groups, and I don't kind of like that. I like to throw everybody in the pot. Because I consider everyone my friend that actually gives a damn, I suppose you could say. But I'm just gonna say there's one guy in particular, actually a couple of guys, but one guy in particular that has really thrown me a bone, really given me a pretty cool opportunity to do something. I'm not going to say precisely what it is, like specifically what it is. Okay. You're going to have to find out. And you're going to have to subscribe to some people, if you haven't already, that I've mentioned so far in this stream that have YouTube channels. Okay. There's your little hint. But I'm doing an animation. And and I've never done animation before. I've drawn, and being a graphic designer, I can draw, and I can design. I've done lots of stuff, but animation, the way I kind of, how should I put it? The way I rationalized it to myself, it's like, it's just drawings, it's just each frame is a drawing, and you just put it all in sequence, right? Not a problem. So, I've done the two character designs for particular characters. Not going to say who again. And I've already done the background work. I'm not going to say what. And I've started the animation. And so far, I've gotten 11 different actions done. And let me tell you something. Oh my God. It is hard ass work. Frig. You know what? Like many of you, there are particular cartoons that we enjoy watching, especially, back when we were kids and whatnot. And some of you guys know me. I am a Transformers fan. I am a G1 1984 Transformers fan, and a lot of fans of other cartoons from the 80s, and and a few in the 90s, and so on and so forth, right? I'm going to tell you, kudos to any old school animators out there that put pen to paper and drew every freaking frame of every cartoon you have ever watched. Okay? That was the best Transformers. It was. It totally 100% was, because it stands the test of time. And kudos to all those guys in Japan that have drawn every anime that we have ever watched. Okay? This takes some balls, man, to draw frame after frame after frame. I've never done this before, but I am trying my best. It's supposed to be, luckily I'm not doing 12 frame, luckily I'm not doing 24 frames per second. I'm doing 12. It's supposed to be modeled off of the old Filmation, He-Man animation style. They did, He-Man and Brave Star and Star Trek, the animated series, from back in the 80s. And dang, I got a bit more to go, but if you listened earlier and you heard me name a few YouTubers, subscribe, keep your eyes open, because I don't know when, but when this work is done, it's going to be shown, and it's going to be shown to thousands of people. And you know what? Again, that makes me so nervous, because I am going to get a shout out for doing this, but it's exciting, but it's also very, I don't want to say nerve wracking, but it makes one nervous, because you're thinking of the judgment that people are going to make. Are people going to say, oh my God, that looks like crap, or wow, that was like the best stuff ever, so still a little nervous about that, but it is a big opportunity, and I'm really trying to embrace it, because I'm also hoping that it brings new opportunities to the door, which is what I really want, because that's kind of why you're in business, right? So so there's that. And so also why I've been gone, while I've been gone, Um, you catch up on a lot of Netflix. I'll tell you that much. So, um, been watching a lot of Somebody Feed Phil. And if you haven't checked out uh, that book, oh my God. If you haven't watched that series on Netflix, check it out. It is a fun series. Yeah, it's an eating series, but it's also a travel series. But it's by the guy, Phil Rosenthal, who was the producer of Everybody Loves Raymond, that show. And what I just got a couple of days ago, actually yesterday, believe it or not. No, was it yesterday? No, sorry, it was Friday. Um, I got his book, and he was very nice enough to actually autograph it for me. And you know what? I don't know. Does anybody want to see it? Because I don't know if a lot of people are actually into books. So, but you know what? Here, I'm gonna see if I can. Let's see if I can get the cam up. So, yes, here I am. Here's the back of the store, which is also now doubling as my studio, I suppose. Anyway, there's the book. Somebody feed Phil the book. And also on top of that, so just to prove, and he was nice enough to autograph it for me. Isn't that freaking cool? Got an autograph. This is my second autograph book. My first one was from Raymond Feliciano, author of the Dolphin Wars. So he has 2 books out. I highly recommend you buy his book. It's a nice sci-fi series so far, and the third one should be coming out really soon. So there's that book. So I'm going to enjoy that thoroughly. So I've been watching that on Netflix. And Gap, you got to go. Well, you know what, dude? Thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for saying that you're glad that you have me back. I really appreciate it. And drop by again, tell everybody I'm back, and we'll see you soon. And Richard says, do you hope to have more opportunities to draw from 12 frames per second cartoons? Seems like you don't really want that. Excuse me. You know what? I do, though. I really do. It's the realization when you want to take the opportunity, and you have the opportunity, and you're doing it, and you are putting the work into it. You figure you have an inkling of how it should go, and then you realize how hard it is. And that's okay. You know what? I know it's hard. I know it's hard work, especially, coloring each frame on top of that, which actually turned out not to be so bad that, I thought it was going to be. But I'm actually enjoying it, as hard as it is. If you can make your hobby to your job, then at least you go to work happy. And it's fun. It's still fun. And it's quite the learning curve. And I'd rather have that learning curve knowing that I am trying to do something, whether I succeed or whether I fail at it, doesn't matter to me. Well, I mean, it does, but it's best to try and fail, then at least you can say you tried, rather than failing to try and never know what might happen. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? And on top of that, you know what? It's like a muscle. you have to keep working on it, otherwise you don't get stronger, right? It's like, how I shed off 60 pounds, and at first, when I started, working at this factory that I'm at, doing the vinyl siding and packing and stuff like that, plus on top of that, having to babysit machines that are literally from the late 70s, early 80s. I kid you not. And they break down and it becomes a pain in the arse. And you have to run taking care of his machine while packing, lots of vinyl siding that's about probably 12 feet long into a box, pack a bunch of it in there. It's a lot of running around, right? But if you don't work at it, you don't get good at the packing aspect. But on top of that, that's how I ended up shedding 60 pounds, going from 320 to about 265. So I've, over the years, let's put it this way, when I was in my early 30s, I was still a lazy bum. Well, I shouldn't say a lazy bum, but, had a bit of a lazy mentality. But, over the years, I do enjoy working. And if I've developed the mentality that this is something that needs to be conquered of sorts, if you know what I mean. So I can either get good at it and try to succeed, try to be good at what I'm trying to do, or just, not bother putting the effort into it and, being a schlub, so to speak. So doing the animation, yeah, it's 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 a little bit of a pain, but I'm enjoying doing it. And yeah, and so the more I'm going to work at it, the faster you build up your speed, the better you become at it, and hopefully it brings along more opportunities to do more things. So I've already done, character creation design, because I believe I probably showed some people earlier in the year. I believe probably back in May, maybe June. I did a character design for a television producer that wanted to make an animation pitch. And I wonder if I should show that here. Maybe I will show that here. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that. While I'm chatting with you people. Yeah, he was making an animation pitch, and so he asked if I can come up with a character creation. Of course, he owns it because he's a TV producer, and should it succeed, then I get to design the rest of the creation, the rest of the characters. And yeah, let me bring up the file. I'll show you guys. So, I'd rather do something like that because it is fun. It is something that I do want to do. And because this is why I want to do these kind of things. Because it's awesome. It's fun. Share the screen. There we go. Window. So this is what it was. One of the character creations that I was asked to do for an animation pitch. Anne Graves, but he also wanted a Anna Green Gables kind of aspect to it. And so I don't ever know what happened to it. I tried to get a hold of the guy, but he hasn't gotten back to me. So I'm still wondering if, mine was, I know mine was in the forefront in the running. It was between me and 4 other people. That's the last that I heard. So, yeah, I want to know what become of this. So, John Rundle, what is up, dude? Thank you for showing up, and thank you for welcoming me back. And thank you for dropping by. I Thanks for dropping by. I just repeated myself again, um, because I'm happy and I'm excited to be back, and for people dropping by and saying, oh hey dude, yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you're back. So I know this was rather a long-winded response, but yeah, I it might sound like I don't want to do it, but I actually really do want to do it. It's just the sudden realization of realizing how much work, um, doing frames of animation for a undisclosed YouTuber that's on YouTube that some of you may be following. Hint, hint. Um, out there. So, yeah. So yeah. So this is what's going on. And John, yeah, glad to be here, Fez brother. You're darn tootin' right. You know what? I really need to bring my pheasant to here. Good things happening here. You're darn right. Things are happening here. Pretty soon, I'm gonna have to do what other common YouTubers do and probably get a bottle of whiskey in a shot glass, because I know, I've been already invited back to another channel. So look for me on the 29th at Rancor Steve's channel, because we're going to be doing a pre New Year's Eve show. and thanks to Gary Ambrosia for actually pitching it to Rancor Steve, for saying, hey, go invite the Comic Relief Crusader on your show. He's wanting to make a comeback, and get him on. So yeah. So on the 29th, check out Rancor Steve's YouTube channel. I'm going to be on it, and we're going to be having some fun on there too. So yeah, I guess in summary, crappy year, but it looks like hopefully it's ending on a good note. It really, I pray and hope to Jesus that it is. Elijah Craig, large batch in a bucket with a straw. Who told you? Damn it. See, now you're spoiling the surprise, dude. Really? Honestly? No, I'm kidding. It's with a rubber chicken and a bucket of sardines. I'm not going any further into detail. You'll be shocked and amazed when it happens. So, no, just kidding. Because I hate sardines. Anyway, so yeah, laid off last year, Christmas Eve, on EI, got helped out by a bunch of friends, and you know what? And shout out to King Dolphin, and yes, you know what? And YouTube, John Rendell, thank you very much. Back in May, and a whole bunch of you for helping me out, and to being, to finding a job, being grateful. Thank you, God, for finding a job, but then getting kicked out and having to move into my son's basement apartment, our family, and falling into depression and interest rates skyrocketing, unable to get the house that I was raising money for, but being presented with this opportunity with essentially a cheap storefront, and then ending up with a bunch of customers so far, and a big project to do an animation for a popular YouTuber. Again, check out the other people that I mentioned earlier in this video. So yeah, plus also on top of that, possibly might be even doing a little bit of voiceover work for a couple of other people as well. So, yeah, you got to join us back in King Dolphin TV 2. We just had Rancor Steve on the other night. Good luck to all your ventures. and Super Goji reviews. I had a good year, had some lows, but got a lot of highs out. Awesome, man. Yeah, John, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. And because in order to run this store front that we have, have this opportunity to try, I got to work the store Monday to Friday. And with work, because I was on a rotating shift, it's the same thing for weekends, um, where I got to work 12-hour shifts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So even though I'm working 36 hours, I'm getting paid for 40. But every 2 weeks, we shift, either work from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Um, for 2 weeks, or either 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. on a rotating shift, for another 2 weeks. So I will try to make it to King Dolphin TV on a Saturday, um, if I'm not dead dog tired. Because if I got to work during, 8 in the morning till 8 p.m., I won't be able to make it on King Dolphin TV. If I'm up from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., well, if I'm working 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., then I'm sleeping most of the day, probably till around 4 p.m. my time, Mountain Time, to try to get 8 hours sleep. And then by the time I even get on a computer, because right now my computer is in the store, and where I sleep is obviously not the store, then I miss King Dolphin TV to go on. You know what I mean? So yeah, ouch. Come when you can, brother. We'll keep a chair at the kiddie table for you. I will never be moved to the kiddie table, but I appreciate you saving me and Eclair. I'll. Raymond doesn't send me to the kiddie table. I'm trying to get to the kiddie table. Honest to God, I am. All right, mate. Got to head out. Have a good day, night. Glad you are back. See you, Super Goji. Thank you for dropping by. Really, honestly, man, I appreciate you for dropping by. You have a good night as well, and thank you for saying thank you. I'm back. I appreciate it. So, and John, yeah, I will try to make it to the kiddie table. Tell Raymond to grab me to the kiddie table. I would greatly appreciate it. So, so you know what? We're almost at an hour here. Usually I used to do a 2-hour show. And but it is getting to 10 p.m. here, and it's still minus 30. And again, that's minus 22 for you Americans there. So I'm gonna cut it short, and and probably leave it at an hour. That's what I think I'm gonna do. And got to ease back into it. Yeah, and Snaggle Fricklepuss, nice to know you're still lurking. And thank you for being back. Sorry I didn't see the thumbnail till late. Now, hey, dude, don't worry about it. Pops! Pops, you made it. Man, you know what? Just when I was gonna end the stream, now you pop in. So, you know what? Okay. So who do we have pop in here? Okay. So Blue Samurai Zero, he popped in actually before the show started. So you know what? Also, Blue Samurai Zero, thank you for stopping by. If you're gonna catch this on the repeat, and Snaggle Fricklepuss and Super Goji reviews and Gap After Dark, he was here on top of that. Then we had Raziel Kane reviews that dropped by, and then we also had Richard Madsen, he dropped by, and then the lovely Sherry, she dropped by tonight. And and so John, and now we got Pops here. So, yeah, thanks for dropping in. that's really awesome of you. I'm so glad that you're here, and hey, I finally got internet hooked up, and you can check the beginning of the stream how everything has gone so far. Oh, you've been listening. Oh, so you're a lurker. Dang, pops, I'm shocked. so so yeah, okay. So you've been listening. Thank you. Um so yeah, so my computer is, you know what? I'm going to turn on the cam. This is what it is. Okay, guys? My computer is, because this is where I do most of my work. My computer's in the shop. Literally in our shop. Okay? This is my display in the back. So right there, there's the box art that I've done for X Transbots, and actually the figure that I've helped design. So, and I figure, this light right here, it's kind of like, comic relief crusader, right? So that I actually got from IKEA. It was actually a Christmas present from my wife, an early Christmas present. So I got all my gear in this shelf behind me, and you know what? I got this nice little filter for my microphone now. Only cost me $10. So I'm like, that kind of guy that searches out for deals and stuff like that. And uh, yeah, there I am, right? And all my fun regalia, trying to keep warm. Uh, Nice setup. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate it. And this is kind of what I wanted to go for once I had the internet hooked up, right? Is to have kind of like a bit of a charismatic type of background, right? Oh, the curtain in the back behind there, that's the wife's photography studio. You can't look because, she doesn't want anybody to see. Unless you're going to come in for a photo shoot, which she's already had a few of so far, and really proud of her for doing that. So yeah, so this is my setup, and I got a VCR actually beside me because I'm doing some video transfers for a customer that came in. Uh, I just finished up some some old 8mm projector film for another lady that hasn't seen this in probably almost 40 years. So if you look right there, if I can actually point correctly, dang it, right there, that little projector right there that you see right there in that corner, that actually helps me convert 8mm 8mm film or Super 8 into 720p high definition. So, this is another service that I offer for people and stuff like that. Lord bless you and keep you and give you peace. You know what, Richard? Thank you very much. Like I said, it's been a lot of prayer that's gone out, and and my wife and I praying to present some sort of opportunity. So again, just praying that this works for us and that we make enough of an income on top of that so I can actually quit the other job that I'm working. Because that's the goal of working for yourself, right? To be self-sufficient and to make money to put back into your business to be better, but on top of that to also save money for a home of your own, right? And that's the thing. I mean, and like I mentioned earlier, there is actually an apartment upstairs which has to be majorly worked on, and I've seen it. And with the wife and I, and we had a daughter. She turned 13 near the end of November. Um, he wants to sell the building. He's 75 years old, and he wants to sell the building. And if there was a way to actually buy this building and renovate it, I'd move upstairs. That way we own the building, we own the shop, I mean, how many people get presented with an opportunity like that? Not many people. So, you know, we're also looking at that possibility as well. And John, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. He probably wants rent. No, actually, the rent has been paid for this month. So, um, yeah. so, um, so yeah, that's what's been going on this year, and you know, we just hope and pray that, like I said, that this year ends up on a really high note, and so far it's looking like it is. So, you know, thank you, God, that things are happening, and and that things perk up even in the new year. I approached the radio station, you know, a couple of times over, to do freelance voiceover work if I can, you know, to try to make some opportunities there happen for myself. And then they approached me saying, you know, hey, if you want to do radio commercial, it'll be, you know, just a few $100s to do either 15 or a 30-second thing commercial. So I'm thinking about recording my own and just giving it to them, and you know, and see how that flies. You know, it's saving some money, putting some pennies away, but you know, hoping that it has an effect on, you know, what I do here, what we both do here. So so that's what's been going on with everything. So you know what, guys, you know, Pops and Richard and John and you know what, I don't know. Oh, I think Gap, yeah, he said he had to go to bed. And if the lovely Sherry is still lurking, because I haven't seen her say anything in a long time, um, yeah, if you can spread the word, try to make a comeback. I'm gonna try to get more videos back out on the channel, um, and just get back into the swing of things. And did you see Fet for Hire's video about my recent happenings? It's on his channel. Best night of my life just happened. No, dude, I haven't. I'm gonna have to check that out. Um, so is did okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna go check it out. You know what? How about this? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go to YouTube, and what if I can find it straight away? You know, to promote you, I'll go to his channel right now, even as I speak, and I will promote you as well, because you know what, um, that's what dudes do. You know, one hand, one hand, you know, deserves, you know, one helping hand deserves another. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So I'll give you a shout out on KDTV. Thanks, man. You know what? No problem. What is the what's the name of the video? Oh, never mind. I got it right here. Okay. Hold on a second here. I'm gonna put it on pause. Wonderful pause. And then I'm gonna share the screen. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And hold on, you punks are gonna watch it. So here. December 15th, 2022. Worshipful Master John Wilkes Rendell. On this date, John became the fifth man in his family to head St. John's Lodge, number 233, since the 1880s. He's the 156th master Wow. Congratulations, Brother John. Dude, that's awesome, dude. Congratulations, man. You earned it. You deserve it. So going to try to get some sleep. Hang in there, bro. One video at a time. Thanks, Pops. Really appreciate you. Thank you for dropping by. I really, really, honest to God, appreciate it. Thank you very much. John, awesome, man. Awesome. And 175, or you're the, what was it? You're the 175th? Like, dang, that's a long time. You know? Thanks, man. I'm so proud. You should be. You really, honestly, God, should be. That's awesome. That is really, really awesome. And also, a shout out for Fet for Hire for doing the video. He does wonderful videos. So if you guys are watching this on the repeat, check out Fet for Hire. He did the intro for me on my show, and he does a lot of stuff for a lot of other people, as you just saw, for John Rendell as well, and multiple other streamers out in the YouTube verse and out there in the patent pending, quote unquote, geekoverse, in the geekosphere. So 165th master in 175 years. That's what I meant to say. This is our anniversary year. Fet is my hero. Right on, dude. Right on. Well, look, I'm going to call it a night because it is getting late where I am at. It's 10:11. I got a bunch of video transfers to do. It's minus 30 out. You know what? Last night I actually slept in the store because I didn't want my wife going out in the cold. And also because, you know, I had a bunch of work to do anyway. And I'm going to keep plugging away, and I think I'm going to also sleep in the store again. Set the alarm for about probably 7:30 in the morning, so no passerbyers actually see me sleeping on the couch that I have here. That's kind of, you know, reserved for clients to come in and chat and, you know, make deals and whatnot. But it's a nice, you know, simulated leather couch, and it's actually not that bad to sleep on. Thank God I had a throw pillow and you know, some blankets on there. So yeah, you have a great one, brother. See you. God bless. Yeah, God, you know what? God bless you too. Thank you for dropping by. And again, thanks for everybody for dropping by. I really appreciate you coming by. And Saggle Fricklepuss, yeah, you too. You're gonna go sleep. I don't blame you. So you know what, guys? Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And this you're streaming again. Any derivative, what is it with all of a sudden? I start to, you know, sign out, and now another one comes in. Any derivative, Jill. Hi. Yes, I'm back. I'm starting to stream again on this titillating Tuesday. What is it? Titillating Tuesday 16? You know what? Honest to God, I have to check. Yes. Hi, Jill. You know what? I'm guessing the lovely Sherry was in here also. So you know what? You are the second lady to show up on Titillating Tuesdays. So because she was here early. Sleep? Sure you will. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Jill. Yes, I'm back. Watch the replay. Lots have happened in 6 months. You know what? I'm just going to put it this way. You know what? What the devil plans out for you to try to fail, God has a backup plan and plans to lift you up. And that's kind of what's going on, you know, simply put. Um, yeah, I'm getting my feet back in the pool, so to speak. And aw, you put on a great show. I'll catch the replay. Sure. Oh, I love you too, Jill. Um, so yeah, things are happening. Things are happening. Um, but it's good. It's great. It's getting to be fun again. I was, nervous going back live, and then all of a sudden everybody started popping in. And then on top of that, I realized it was a Tuesday, and I didn't really plan it that way. Honest to God, I did not. But I was waiting like literally almost a little over a month for this internet to get hooked up, and it just happens to be hooked up on a titillating Tuesday. So I'm back, baby. Back on YouTube. Spread the words, my acolytes, and bring me subscribers for the show, for my channel. And you know what? Maybe I'll put on a show for getting closer to Christmas. Maybe Christmas Eve. I don't know. I know the family and I we've been invited to a church dinner, a turkey church dinner for Christmas Eve. But maybe I'll do something for the 23rd. It's something that I wanted to do for a few years with the family, but you know what? I also want to do it on YouTube. The real meaning for Christmas. So I'm back in the YouTube groove. Firstly, sort of, yeah. so that's what I think I'm going to do. Read the true meaning of Christmas and what it is all about. So you know what? I'm going to sign off. Thank you for everybody that joined. John Rendell, God bless you, man. Anti-Derivative Jill, thank you for popping in. And Pops, thank you, man, for coming by. And Richard Madsen, that also dropped by. Snaggle Fricklepuss, thank you also for coming by. Gap After Dark, Super Goji Reviews, the lovely Sherry, and who else came by? I know there was and Raziel Kane Reviews, he also dropped by, and Blue Samurai Zero. Thank you all for coming by and welcoming me back on YouTube. Even though I'm slightly getting small for work because now I've opened up a store. It's going to be fun. Yes. Night all. Merry Christmas. Oh yeah, that's right. And day 3 on Hanukkah. So, and yeah, Jill, good day. Merry Christmas to you too. And God bless you all. And, yeah, thank you, Jesus. I'm finding my way back into streaming again, and and trying to get more content out, and well, you said it now, so you remembered, so there you go. Right. So yeah, here's to a good 2023 coming up. And I pray to Jesus that it blesses you all the upcoming year, and that we all have a good rest of 2022, and that we all have some fun the rest of the year and upcoming in the New Year's. And so gonna sign off, and thank you all for joining on this reemergence on Titillating Tuesdays. Well, let's give this a shot or two. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night, everyone. God bless you. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. And And don't forget, on the 29th, I'll be on Rancor Steve's channel and having some fun there. And I'll talk to you guys soon on another Titillating Tuesday. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Go away now.